All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden crisis, one that, believe it or not, affects your bank account, your insurance, pretty much everything. It's a story about this forgotten language that's basically holding our modern world together. And, well, what happens when it starts to break?
So let's just jump right in with a crazy thought. What if the invisible engine that powers our entire global economy, the thing processing your every tap to pay, what if it runs on a programming language that most people would call a dinosaur, a dead language even?
Yeah, that language is called COBOL. It stands for, get this, Common Business-Oriented Language. It was born way back in the 1960s, and while the rest of the tech world was off chasing the next shiny new language, COBOL just quietly became this super reliable workhorse for the world's most critical industries. We're talking banking, insurance, government, the big stuff.
And the scale here, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, we're not talking about a few dusty old servers in a back room somewhere. The core systems that were built in the 70s and 80s, they are still the fundamental plumbing for our entire global economy. They're old, for sure, but they have always worked. Well, until now, that is.
See, just sticking with the status quo, that's not an option anymore. There's this ticking clock that has started, and three really powerful forces are all converging at once to create basically a perfect storm. And it's putting this insane pressure on these old foundational systems.
Okay, so the first force, it really just comes down to money, pure dollars and cents. These old legacy systems are becoming financial black holes. I mean, every single patch, every little update, all the specialized support, it just gets more and more expensive. The costs are honestly spiraling out of control.
Then you've got the second force, which is a hard, non-negotiable deadline. Major players like IBM are literally pulling the plug on support for the very operating systems these COBOL programs need to run. So by 2026, then again in 2027, that safety net is just gone, which means companies are being forced to make a huge decision, like right now, today.
And the third force, this one's all about people, the human element. You see, the whole generation of programmers who are the experts in COBOL, the ones who built and maintain this stuff, they're retiring in droves. And if you look at that tiny little bar for new talent, practically no one is coming in to replace them. All that crucial knowledge, the stuff that keeps these systems running, is literally walking right out the door.
Okay, so you might be thinking, if this has been a slow-motion train wreck for years, why on earth haven't companies done something about it sooner? Well, the answer lies in something called the modernization trap.
And just let this number sink in for a second. 70%. That's the historical failure rate. Seriously, 7 out of every 10 projects that tried to replace these critical systems have completely failed. That is a staggering figure, and honestly, it explains everything you need to know about why companies have been so hesitant. I mean, think about it. With that high of a chance of failure, combined with the massive costs and the absolutely terrifying risk of messing up a system that processes billions of dollars a day, it's really no wonder that the mantra became, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It just seems so much safer to stick with the old, familiar beast you know.
But what if the game is completely changed? What if there's a new player on the field that just completely flips that old risk equation on its head? Well, that new player is artificial intelligence, and it is totally rewriting the rules of modernization.
And the difference here is just night and day. The old way of doing things, a full manual rewrite, was this huge, high-stakes gamble. But this new AI-powered approach, it's smarter, it's safer, and for the very first time, it's actually scalable. It is a total game changer that directly attacks the cost and the risk that created that 70% failure rate in the first place.
And listen, this isn't just some theory on a whiteboard. As Anushka Singh, the founder of the modernization platform Catalyst, puts it, AI has enabled us to build scalable products to do this modernization, which was not possible before. That right there, that's the breakthrough.
So how does AI actually do this? How does it solve the problem? Well, it's kind of like a three-pronged attack. First, the AI can scan and analyze millions of lines of this ancient code, and it figures out all the business rules and how the data flows. It's like a digital Rosetta Stone. Second, it uses that deep understanding to safely and automatically translate the old code into a modern language. And third, and this part is just magic, it captures all that priceless knowledge from the retiring experts, preserving it for the next generation. It's incredible.
Okay, but even with a much safer way to do this, the big question of ROI, return on investment, still hangs in the air. What's the true payoff here? And the answer isn't just about avoiding a disaster, it's about unlocking a whole new era of innovation.
Look, let's be totally honest about the challenge here. There often isn't some big, immediate return on investment you can point to on the next quarterly report. The real, game-changing value, that usually shows up 5 or even 10 years down the road.
But here's the crucial point. Modernization isn't just about swapping out old code for new code. It's about building a foundation for agility. It's about giving a company the power to innovate, to adapt to market changes, and to create a real, lasting competitive advantage. Just imagine a bank that can launch new mobile features in weeks, not years. That is the real payoff.
So the choice that these organizations are facing, it's becoming clearer every single day. This isn't just some IT project you can kick down the road anymore. No, this is a fundamental business decision. It's about survival and growth in the age of AI.
And that really leaves us all with one final thought to chew on. In an age of just relentless technological change, maybe the most important question any leader can ask is this: is our organization built on a foundation for the future? Or is it a relic of the past, just waiting for its own ticking clock to run out?